Hi, I'm Sam, your inner voice and self-trust coach for women who refuse to choose between career success and being fully present with their kids. This is Journal Entries, where we break free from self-sabotage, reconnect with our inner wisdom, and live truly fulfilled lives in both of our roles. Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome to our journaling session. I have been so excited to walk you through this specific journaling session because we are going to be talking about breaking habits that you don't want to have, like scrolling, since I've been on my social media break. There are 4 very specific prompts that will help you go from having this habit that you don't like that you have and getting to the point where you can actually break it. Before we get into those prompts, though, there's this one concept that you need to understand. It's that everything that you are doing in your life right now, whether you like doing it, you don't like doing it, you know you're doing it or not, it is serving a purpose. You are gaining something from it. So when we talk about breaking habits that you don't want to have, the real work is understanding what are you gaining from it, and then being able to question that belief and to reframe it. This is some of the work that I do with my private clients, but you get to try it on your own today. I'm going to walk you through 2 different examples and then leave time for the actual journaling. And if you are listening to this while driving or doing the dishes and your hands are soaked in suds, then you can just think through the prompts at the end. Okay, so the first step is knowing what is this quote unquote bad habit that you want to break? And then thinking through what is the belief beneath it. For example, I wanted to break the habit of scrolling Instagram. I journaled through scrolling is inspiring me in my business, and I get lots of ideas for captions, freebies, and things to do with my son. That was the belief beneath me scrolling Instagram. It was almost like I needed to do it because it was inspiring me. The next step is that really true or is that really happening? I journaled, no, I actually get overwhelmed and I don't take action on 99% of the things when I do scroll. The third step, if you weren't to be doing blank, what would you be tempted to do? Or what would you be doing instead? And I journaled, not scrolling and off of social media would mean more time to write more emails in my business or start a blog post for each podcast episode. Basically, I realized I would just fill that time with more things. It was this prompt where I realized that it wasn't necessarily social media that is the problem. It was that I'm always trying to find the next thing that will help me in my business or help me become a better mom. The last step, to break that cycle, what do you actually need to do or believe? And I journaled, I need to trust that I'm doing all the right things in my business. This was just really bringing home the point that I was using social media because I didn't trust what I was doing and I kept looking for that missing piece as a mom or in my business. And what I really needed was to trust that I'm doing all of the right things. That was my personal example, and I'll give you the example from one of my clients. The thing that she wanted to stop doing was cleaning around her house because she cleans when she doesn't even need to clean. It was almost something that she just did to distract herself. The belief beneath it, she said, doing things around my house makes me feel fulfilled. Seeing how something was before I touched it and then seeing it afterwards feels nice. Once I questioned her and said, is that really true? Is that really happening? Is that really how you feel? She said, the work around the house is actually never all done and I can't rest. When I asked her, if you weren't cleaning, what would you be tempted to do instead? So if you had more time that you weren't spending cleaning, what would you do? And she said, not doing as much around the house means more time to work on her business. And lastly, I asked, to break that cycle, what do you actually need to do or believe? She said, I need to trust that there's nothing missing in my day. and that I have everything I need. And that seemed too big for her, like too big of a challenge. And so I coached her through start by trusting one area of your life. And in her case, I told her to start trusting that doing less throughout the day still makes you worthy. And she has a hard time resting, as you might imagine. So I just reminded her that you can rest actively by doing things that bring you joy intentionally. So let's dig in and apply this to your life. First, what is the habit that you don't want to keep repeating? And what is the belief or need beneath it? Next, tell me more about that. Is that really true? Is that really happening? Our third prompt, if you weren't to be doing that thing or thinking that thing, what would you be tempted to do instead? And lastly, to break this cycle, what do you actually need to do or to believe about yourself? Amazing job. This is really deep work. You can utilize these 4 prompts in all areas of your life for any sort of habit that you are doing. You could even reverse it and understand why you're doing the positive habits that you have in your life. If this sparked an interest in uncovering more about your habits and your goals and how to get there quicker, and you would like more information on working with me, either in small group coaching or privately, then I will share a link in the show notes where you can get all of the details on that, as well as a link for the Calm Mind Blueprint, which is a completely free resource that helps you go from overwhelm to inner peace with my 5 strategic prompts in just 2 minutes a day. Thank you for doing this work with me today. I would love to hear if you had any breakthroughs. So send me an email to let me know your biggest aha moment, and I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me for today's journal entry. If something resonated with you, I'd love to know about it. Screenshot this episode, share it on social media, and tag me at samantha.s.says. Or even leave a review, which will help more women find this podcast to create more fulfillment in their career and as a mom. And hey, if you're thinking, I wish I could get more of this, I've got you covered. Click on the link in the show notes, which I customize each week based on what we're talking about. And I always include the link to the Calm Mind Blueprint, which are my 5 journal prompts to go from overwhelm to inner peace in 2 to 10 minutes a day. Subscribe so that you catch my Thursday 5-minute journal with me episodes and next week's full episode where we will continue this journey together. I'll see you then.